my architects, my builders, my authors of their own life, my life and style designers. You cannot rewrite your life from theory, from over consuming and hoarding all of this knowledge. At some point, you are going to have to enter the lab. Welcome to your life design lab, where you are going to experiment on the things that are going to directly impact you building a rich life mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially on purpose. In this lab, there are no mistakes. In this lab, there are no failures. It's only feedback and reiteration, adjustment or removal for things that do not work. We are not failing because we are not quitting. So we're going to do this experimentation. We're going to be in the lab. So I need you to get this through your mind. If you're willing to sacrifice your comfort, or a matter of fact, sacrifice your comfort to go into the lab to literally architect your dream life, buckle up because it's a ride. Okay, it's a ride. Let me tell you why. Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Spy BJ, and if you are new here on my channel, we talk about mastering our mind so that we can transform our life, so that we can get more fulfillment out of this life. So if you trying to do that, girl, subscribe. What are you doing? I truly appreciate it. It means so much to me. If you just take the time, just hit the subscribe button. It means a lot. Your current identity, it will not survive the testing. So go ahead. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Go ahead and be okay with that becoming your reality. That hypothesis we talked about. Without action, it's just emotional comfort. It's just making you feel good. But if you choose experimentation, you are choosing transformation. And if you are choosing to not get into the lab and experiment, you are choosing to stay in the same dusty old spot you in right now that you don't like, that you talk about, that you journal about, that you want to move out of. Because you can have the most perfectly well-written hypothesis, but if you don't take any action on it, you're going to be stuck like Chuck in places that ain't paying you no bucks. Bars and in places that you don't want to be, and I know you don't want to be there. So why do we do that, and how can we stop doing that? I'm about to tell you, so stay tuned. Okay, so we have been talking about the scientific method, and we have been going step by step. I start off with the framework in totality, and then we started at the hypothesis, and now we're going to take our hypothesis into experimentation. It's time to enter the lab, ladies. It's time to take what you think your educated guess is. It's time to take your educated guess, which is your hypothesis, into experimentation, which is the lab. It's time to take it to the lab to test it out, because how will we know what it's going to do if we don't do what we need to do? So that's called action. That experimentation is the action. That's you going from potential energy to kinetic energy. You're going to take the thought, the idea, which is your hypothesis, and you're going to take action on it. Okay, action creates the data that we need for the rest of the scientific method. It's very important. You don't take any action, there's no science experiment. It's just a theory. So this can look like testing your routine, your habits, your nutrition, your business ideas, your career, the career you're in. Is it in alignment? The discipline, your discipline or lack thereof, your self-confidence, your esteem. When you do that, you're going to be generating evidence, patterns, outcome, refinement. Action turns possibility into proof, basically. So your hypothesis is this educated guess. You gotta make it into something. The hypothesis is like having all the ingredients for a cake on the counter. Okay, that's cute. We got the ingredients to make this from scratch. I don't know what type of cake I like, but I like yellow cake with chocolate icing. Real basic. Okay, we're gonna go with something a little more exotic. How about tiramisu? So we have all the ingredients to make this tiramisu cake. None of it's mixed up, but it's on the counter. So does that make it a tiramisu cake? Absolutely not. It's just the ingredients. So taking it and putting it into action is stirring it up, turning the oven on, mixing it, whipping it, flipping it, doing all the things necessary to make you a delicious tiramisu cake. You have to actually put it in a bowl and get started. You have to take action on it. If this is your first time making a tiramisu cake, you're going to have brand new data. If this is your second time, you know what you messed up on the time before. This is what's important. This is why it's important, because any failures become feedback. So if your cake tastes nasty at the end, it's feedback that maybe you missed an ingredient. Too much sugar, too little salt, tastes too much like a straight espresso shot. whatever the case is, you have to taste the cake. You have to bake the cake so you can taste it. So we're going to just stick on the baking part. This is the action you're going to take. Failure becomes feedback. This is very crucial. Well, you cannot, Mr. Mrs. Architect, Mrs. Engineer, Mrs. Author of her life, this is important for you to remember. I need you to stick this on your brain, put it on a sticky note, put it wherever. The failure you are about to experience, you cannot take it personally. In science, failure is just information, okay? Failure is just information. You know how you've been watching it, all these podcasts, reading all these books, going to seminars, workshops, paying for everybody to give you their knowledge? The reason they have that knowledge is because they experienced something, they took action on something and got the feedback from it. This is your time to now be in the hot seat, in the driver's seat, to get the feedback, the information. The failure is just going to lead you to more information, okay? It's time for you to get into the driver's seat and know that failure in your experimentation is the information that you need to go to the next step. It's a necessity. You can't skip over any of these parts. So stop trying to cheat the system. You are going to be building your rich life on purpose, not skip hopping it around, because if you have holes in your building, it's going to collapse faster, and it's not going to yield you the comfort and the knowing that you built something strong, that you built something worthy. Okay, so don't cheat yourself. If anything, don't cheat anybody for one, but seriously, don't cheat yourself. That failed experiment is not evidence that you cannot change. In fact, it is evidence that a variable needs adjusting. We're going to get to variable in 2 more videos, but just know that that's all it is. When you go into the lab to take action and you're doing your experiment, you're going to build so much trust in yourself. You're going to get more comfortable whipping those eggs to make the tiramisu. I have no idea how to bake a tiramisu cake, by the way, but you're going to get so much comfortable with knowing how much flour you need for the recipe, because the first time you added too much flour, the second time you didn't add enough, and you're going to get so much comfortable doing these measurements to the point where you may not even need measuring spoons and measuring cups. You may not even need the recipe anymore because you've done it so many times. You're just perfecting it. Every experiment you survive is going to expand your confidence. It's also going to increase your resilience, building your adaptability. You're going to be able to adapt. So say, for instance, you cooking tiramisu in your kitchen. Fourth time, someone that you love tasted it. Your mama tasted it. How about that? We're going to go with that. Your mom tasted your cake and said, ooh. And when you're at her house, the week later, she asks you, what are the ingredients? And then she buys them off of door. She buys them off of Instacart, and they at the front door, and she like, can you make it? So now you're not in your kitchen. You don't have your regular tools. You're not in your environment, but you are able to adapt because you know this recipe by heart. Why? Because you have experimented over and over again to where you've gotten all the information necessary, changed whatever variables to get it to the point where it's like chef's kiss, that your mama wants a recipe from you. That means you're doing something. And most importantly, when you experiment, it's going to weaken fear. You see, your ego is trying to protect you. The more you do it, the more you build confidence in yourself, the more that your body, your mind is used to you doing the thing. You're going to weaken fear because you're increasing the opposite of it. Confidence is like the byproduct of surviving your experiment, right? And the more you survive it, the more you expand, the more you get to the next level. You're just more and more confident where you can just do it with your eyes closed. Now, this same concept will be used in your fitness journey, in your wealth journey, in your location, time, freedom journeys, wherever area of your life. This scientific method can be adapted to whichever area of your life you're working on. Okay. Now, this is a very important thing. Neuroplasticity. Okay. Neuroplasticity simply is saying that repeated experimentation, this is all from your from your mind. Remember, and before I go into it, your mind is not hardwired. Okay. You are the author, the architect, the engineer, the builder. So you can, through your actions and through your daily habits and through the things that you believe and act on, you have the ability to change how your brain is wired. So when people say that's just who I am, that's just what they've been doing. But if you want to be something else, then you just have to do something else. Okay. So neuroplasticity is from your repeated behaviors. It's from your repeated experimentation. And when you repeat something over and over, the pathways are being strengthened, right? You're literally feeding and fueling a muscle. You're going to be disrupting old patterns at the same time and creating that identity evidence. The one that you want to, that you're working towards, this is where the evidence comes in. Every intentional action It's teaching your nervous system about who you're becoming. And I like and really the actions that you do unconsciously are also training your nervous system about who you're becoming. So you want to have more actions that are intentional so you can train it to reflect what you want it to be. Right? Does that make sense? Architects, engineers, builders, authors, you are the creator, you are the one in charge. So the reason this is important, like I've said before, you've been experimenting. You have already created the hypothesis, you've been in the lab, and you've gotten the conclusions that created your current reality. But now you're going to do it consciously. When you consciously experiment, you're going to get closer and closer to your desired result. So be mindful of that, because if you do not consciously experiment, you are still experimenting unconsciously through procrastination, overthinking, fear, avoidance, distraction, inconsistency. Just like, think about it like this: we are all testing new ways of living. Most people are just doing it by default because they are doing the same thing over and over again. So don't be that. And if you were, don't judge yourself. That's why we're here. That's why we're learning. That's why we're growing and expanding together. Remember, your knowledge, your educated guess is like the ingredients of the cake on the counter. Your experimentation is the mixing of the cake to actually baking it and having a cake. Those ingredients hold potential, but only a fully baked cake can nourish your transformation. I like my cake metaphor. Like, I like that. That's popping. Experimentation is an act of self-authorship. You are going to stop being reactive, passive, fearful, and you're going to become adaptive, conscious, resilient, and intentional. Experimentation is how we are going to stop inheriting the life that we do not desire and start designing it. And I know you want to design it as beautifully and as beautiful as you have on your Pinterest board. More beautiful than that. You can do that. But you have to remember this, okay? You don't need certain perfection before beginning. You can start before you're ready. Actually, it's more important that you go in the lab and get started as soon as possible. I'm talking about tonight. Okay, you know you tired, go to sleep earlier. I'm talking about tomorrow. Start as soon as you can. You do not have to be ready. You have to start. That is what makes you ready. That's what gets you to the feedback and the information quicker. You need enough courage to collect the real data. So I, on the other side of your screen, I'm sending you all of the courage that you need to get up, get out, and do something. The thing that you know you need to do, the thing you've been sitting on, the thing you've been procrastinating about, overthinking, super afraid to start, letting that fear lead you into dead ends and continue to stay in darkness, or just the cluelessness that you think you are, because there are so many options and you so multi-passionate. You have 85 slashes between all your passions and you don't know where to start. You have to start somewhere. It's time to enter the lab and run the experiment, sis. All right. And if you're ready to build more momentum in your life, I created the Start Before You're Ready 7-day challenge. Check the links out in the description. I truly appreciate you all for being here. And y'all, we are the engineers of our life. Let's take pride in knowing that. It feels really good to know and to live out the scientific method in my life, and to take what I literally learned, what we learned in grade school, and apply it to our adult selves, so that we can truly build our rich life on purpose, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. I thank you so much for being here today. My name is Sis 5J, and I really do hope you have a beautiful day. All right, peace. You're beautiful. I hope you know that. I hope you know that. All right, hello and welcome back. The airplane is loud, like golly.